So hey guys, it's Aiden from Nintenden here, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on the recent Nindies Direct that we just got. So these Nindie Directs are usually pretty cool, and this one was no exception. I've always kind of commended Nintendo for their support of independent developers, and these showcases are a great way of getting games that may have not gotten a lot of traction in the first place out into the public eye. I don't usually come away from these directs completely blown away, because let's be real, you can't beat a standard Nintendo Direct, but I do usually come away pleasantly surprised. This one, however, though, wow. There were a lot of amazing, really unique games here, but there were two in particular that I really want to talk about. So the first being Cuphead for Nintendo Switch. That's right, Cuphead. So throughout the Switch's life, there have been several games that I really wanted to come to the console, but I wasn't entirely sure if it was going to happen. For example, Dark Souls, we got it. Resident Evil 4, we got it. And more. Persona 5, we don't have it yet, but it's strongly implied that it's coming with the inclusion of Joker in Smash. Doom and Skyrim, even in the first year, we got them. It's almost like at this point the Switch is some miracle machine. So the last game that I wanted to come to the console was Cuphead, or at least one of the last games that I was just really wanting to see on the system. And well, lo and behold, we got it. I figured the chances of this happening were kind of slim, being how it was strictly such a Microsoft property, but I guess I probably should have seen this coming, being how the relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo has been very strong lately. Anyway, the Direct started off with kind of like this old-timey trailer for like Milk, and right at this point I kinda knew. I was like, this has something to do with Cuphead, doesn't it? And then as the trailer progressed on, the gameplay finally kicked in, and I was just like, wow, it happened. So I could not be more excited, and this is great for a number of reasons. One, so many Nintendo fans who might not have access to Xbox or a PC can finally try out this extremely hard yet rewarding game. Two, it's great for the developer because now they can put Cuphead in the eyes of so many more people and just expand this game's reach. And again, this move just further solidifies the relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo lately. They've been really strong together, and I'm just loving what I'm seeing. And I can't help but wonder if we're gonna get more Microsoft properties on the Switch now. I mean, it has been rumored, and if we do, I would not be surprised at all. Like, honestly guys, I think we may be getting a Microsoft character in Smash, whether it be Banjo-Kazooie, that's who I want, Master Chief, Steve from Minecraft, or even Cuphead and Mugman from Cuphead. I know the developers, Studio MDHR, they were saying, actually earlier today, as I'm recording this, that they really want Cuphead in Smash. So that would just be so bizarre and just such a dream come true for I think a lot of people. You know, first we have Joker in there from the Persona series, and then if we got a character like Cuphead in Smash, that'd just be absolutely bizarre. In any case, I'm just super stoked to play Cuphead on the go with my Switch. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, and the next big thing I want to talk about here actually ended off the Direct. So it's kind of funny how Nintendo put their two biggest announcements at the beginning and end of the Direct. They do this all the time. It's almost like they have this stuff figured out or something, you know? But we got a look at Cadence of Hyrule, which is a mashup of the game Crypt of the Necrodancer and The Legend of Zelda. So I've never actually played Crypt of the Necrodancer, but it seems to be a rhythmic action-adventure game where there's a constant beat going, and you kind of have to place your moves or whatever you do, like your attacks and whatnot, in between the beat. So there's kind of like a constant progression going, and you kind of have to work around that. But guys, with Zelda, when the trailer first started, I was like, what the heck is this? I don't recognize this. It must not be important to me. It must not be what I'm all about. But then you start seeing these areas that look like Zelda, and you're like, I guess the developers took influence from Zelda. And then you start seeing Zelda enemies, and it's like, that's Zelda. So this is subtle, but also massively important at the same time. Because this is the first time Nintendo has really lent out one of their bigger IPs to a smaller indie developing studio, and Zelda at that. Zelda is like one of their top IPs in general, like probably in the top 3, I would think. Like, Nintendo actually had the confidence to hand out one of their biggest IPs, Zelda, to a smaller studio. Like, can you just fathom that for a second? I mean, sure, it was probably watched over very carefully from the higher-ups, but this just means so much. Does Nintendo now go ahead and start lending out their big franchises to smaller indie developers to create more games? Or was this just a one-time move by Nintendo? I imagine it's not a one-time move, because otherwise that'd be really weird and kind of random if for just one time they were like, let's hand out Zelda to those guys, see what they can do. But this is all just further cementing the idea that this is a changed Nintendo that we're dealing with nowadays. We've got the Switch, we want games on it, and we're not afraid to take risks. I feel like that's Nintendo's ideology these days, and I just respect that so much. It's also insane how much influence Nintendo actually has here, and how they can just help out smaller developers so easily. Like, for example, ever since the game was announced, I've heard so many people say, I've never played Crypt of the Necrodancer, but I'm absolutely gonna pick this game up. And it's kind of the same situation for me. As soon as you put a little bit of Nintendo's brand power on top of something, it just explodes. So this is great for the developers of Crypt of the Necrodancer, because now everyone's gonna want to play Cadence of Hyrule, and that's just gonna be great publicity for them. With that in mind, imagine how many indie developers Nintendo could help out just by lending them their franchises for a game or two. It's certainly interesting and definitely further bolsters that idea that Nintendo wants to work with indie game studios. But those are basically my thoughts, guys. I just wanted to make a really quick video talking about this subject. Because I just found that Direct yesterday to be super interesting. Again, those two announcements were really awesome, and I feel like they say a lot about Nintendo right now. But yeah, guys, I'm going to end the video here for now. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or subscribe to the channel, as it helps me out a ton. Here on Nintendo, I cover topics relating to Nintendo, including reviews, discussion topics, and other types of videos. What did you guys think of that Nindie Direct? Be sure to leave a comment down below, as I would love to chat with you guys. And until the next video, you guys have a great one, and I'll see you then. Bye!